You know, it'd be very easy to distill this wedding down into two simple facts. We could say the vows. I could sign a piece of paper. We'd be done in about 5 minutes. Now, maybe right now that looks really good. And we could go in, we could have the DJ crank up the tunes, and we could get the party really started. But as I met with you yesterday, and as I see the way that you looked at each other yesterday, and as I see the way you're looking at each other now, and I have to admit, when they opened the doors and you started to come down the aisle, I wasn't looking at you originally, I was looking at Chris, because whenever you look at the groom, when he first sees his bride, it's a moment. And to see the look that you have in your eyes for each other, it's easy for me to see that you are two people who actually like each other. You actually look like you enjoy spending time together. You look like you love each other. And you look like you want to spend the rest of your lives together. And I think that deserves more than just a signature and a couple of minutes. You know, as amazing and as wonderful and as special as today is, this is just a ceremony. What we're doing here is simply a ceremony. The marriage is what's going to happen tomorrow, the day after, the week after, the month after, and for years and years to come. Now, it's possible that you knew you would be standing here together the first day you met. Most likely it's not. Maybe the first time you met, you're like, who is this person? But the fact that you are standing here today is evidence of the fact that when you actually met each other and you begin to share a life together, you knew that this person was the one. At some point, you eventually knew this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. The first time I met my wife, I knew. Now, it took her a little bit longer before she knew. But before I met her, I would have never imagined myself being married. I mean, committed to one person forever? That's impossible. Before I met my wife, I could have never imagined having children. I mean, little tiny rugrats that run around and keep you up all night and throw up on you. Never. But I'm here to tell you that after 23 years of marriage and 3 children, the right person can change you for the better. The right person can fill up your life and make all those things that you thought you didn't want things you absolutely want in your life. Because when you find the right person, you're willing to do whatever it takes to make that relationship work forever. Now, I can tell you that it will take work. There is no perfect marriage. And if marriage is going to work, it's important that you both are going to decide together on how this marriage is going to work. So there are important decisions that you're going to navigate together. Probably the most important decision you're going to navigate together is whether or not the toilet seat should be up or down. Down. When changing the toilet paper roll, does the paper go over or under? And how do I politely tell my spouse that his or her favorite food makes me want to curl? But in all seriousness, you're going to need to learn to work on how you communicate, on how you disagree on things, but also on how you ask and give forgiveness to each other, on how you move past the arguments that you undoubtedly have, and how you can learn to love each other more fully than you do today. Because right now, it may seem like you couldn't love the other person more, but you will find over time that you will grow to love each other even more and more than you do today. Now, in 1 Corinthians, Paul tells us what true love looks like. This is the type of love that keeps a marriage going, the kind of love that keeps a marriage strong, the kind of love that God wants for both of you to have for each other. And it would take way too long for me to sit here and go through every aspect of what Paul says, and I'm not going to do that to you. But what I want to do is just highlight a couple of things that Paul says about love, the type of love that we should have for each other in this marriage. The first thing Paul tells us is love is patient. You're going to discover stuff about each other the longer you're together. You will discover things emotionally about each other, and physically about each other, and socially about each other, and spiritually. You will discover hurts and hang-ups and quirks that each other has. But a patient love is the kind of love that means we're going to grow together as we discover each other together. And we're going to give each other time to grow together. It also says that love is kind. It means you don't avoid or criticize or run when things are not going perfect. Instead, you stay and you work through those things, because one day you're going to need the other person to stay and work through those issues with you. Paul also says that love is not rude. How often you see husbands and wives, you see couples in public, they just aren't nice to each other. They say mean things to each other. Having a love that's not rude means that you're going to build each other up. It means you're going to be careful of the words you say to each other and the words you say about each other to other people. Paul also says that love is not easily angered. That doesn't mean you can't get angry. Anger has its place. But it means you don't get angry about everything. When you can't decide which way the toilet seat goes up and down, that's not something to get angry about. But the Bible also tells us that you should never let the sun go down on your anger. That means if it takes until 4 o'clock in the morning for you to stay up and work through whatever it is you need to work through, then don't be afraid to stay up until 4 a.m. and work through it. The Bible also tells us that true love keeps no record of wrongs. Wow, that's a huge one. You know what that means? That means when you have an argument and you disagree about something, and you will, and to resolve it, and you will, and move past it. 6 months from now or a year from now is not the time to bring it up again. And finally, love protects each other. Not just physically, but emotionally. You protect each other's reputation. You protect each other's honor. You protect each other's hearts. Now, we're going to do 2 sets of vows today. These are vows that says, I will promise to honor you and love you. I will promise not to be rude to you. I'll promise to be kind to you. I'll promise to protect you. And so I'm going to give you both the vows you have written to each other, and we ask you to say those to each other, and then we'll do the traditional vows together afterwards. So Chris, you will do those vows.
Shannon, you're the most amazing person I've ever met. You make me smile every day. You make me think about things I've never thought about. And you keep me on my toes. I love you so much, and I can't believe I'm lucky enough to be standing with you here today. I promise to make you smile every day, especially when you're feeling down. I vow to stand by you and stand up for you throughout our journey together. I will not get upset at you when you are wearing shoes on the couch, even if they aren't on the couch. I promise to respect you as an equal and encourage your dreams and passions. I promise to always stay spontaneous because some of our best times were spent on screens and work. I promise not to get upset when you tell me to load the dishwasher because we both know I always look. With you, I will start many of life's adventures, such as building a career, starting a family, and turning a house into a home. I will grow old with you, but never stop growing with you. These promises I make to you on our wedding day. Shannon, I love you so much, and can't wait to begin this care.
Jan, can you do your vows?
Christopher, you're the most extraordinary person I've ever met. You're my biggest fan, my critic, my partner in crime, and my best friend. You have the most amazing sense of humor, and you always put a smile on my face. You can light up a room and you don't even know it. You're always there for me when I'm down or stressed, like a hand to hold, a hug, or most times a joke or a silly dance. I cherish every single moment we spend together. I love you so much, and I'm so happy to be standing with you here today. I can't promise to be the best at giving directions when you're driving, but I promise to support you in whatever direction you take in life. I can't promise to keep your house clean and organized, but I can promise you a home have to walk twice as fast to keep up with you in your long day. I will be there for you no matter what. I will challenge you and I will encourage you. I will trust you and I will respect you. I will always be your Shannon. And you'll always be my Christopher. These promises I make to you on this day, the day of our wedding. Christopher, I love you so much. And I'm so excited to spend the rest of my life with you.
Now, before we exchange the traditional vows, I know I speak on behalf of everyone here that we want to see at least one of those silly dances at the reception. Okay, beautiful. So, Chris, repeat after me. I, Christopher, take you, Shannon, to be my lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish you, as long as we both shall live. Shannon, could you repeat these vows after me? I, Shannon,
I, Shannon,
take you, Christopher,
to
be my lawfully wedded husband,
be my lawfully wedded husband,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
for better or for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer or for
for
poorer,
richer or for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish
to
you,
love and to cherish you,
as long as we both shall live.
and as long as we both shall live.
Now, who has the rings? So, Chris, would you please put the ring on Shannon? And Shannon. Now, these rings, are a symbol to you and to the world of the love that you share for each other. They are a symbol to everyone that you are no longer on the market, that you have committed your life and your love to one person, and that you intend to spend the rest of your life with that person. And now, by the power vested in me by God in the state of Nevada, I pronounce you husband and wife. What God has joined together, let no man tear apart.